It's a well-known fact that black people don't trust the forest. Terrible things can happen there. One time I went to the forest, there was only one porta potty. It looked like somebody had opened the door, turned around, spread open their butt cheeks, and spray sneezed all over everything in there, man. It was terrifying. But that's neither here nor there, because today we're here to check out 6 of the most disturbing camping encounters of other people. I'm not even gonna tell you guys about the time I was in the forest with a girl I was hanging out with, tried to get a spin job and ended up getting attacked by geese. You guys want to watch the original video? It's about none other than Chillin' Scares. Let's do this.
Since 2017, a YouTuber named Phil has been uploading videos of his hiking trips to his channel Hike Slam, where he gives his viewers a glimpse into everything he does to prepare for a long hike, camp alone in the middle of the woods, choose the right hiking gear, and pretty much everything related to the outdoors. On the night before Thanksgiving 2021, Phil went on an overnight hike to camp on the Appalachian Trail near his house in Virginia. For the first half hour of his hike, things kick off pretty normally, but after a while, he finds some odd-looking trash lying on the side of the trail. Strangely, there appears to be some writing on some of the containers he finds, which appear to be song lyrics, though it's hard to imagine why anyone would go through the trouble of writing out entire songs or poems on a plastic container only to later throw it on the side of the trail.
Boredom? As
he crosses the boundary into the wilderness, things continue to get stranger and stranger, and as he nears the campsite, Phil finds another series of disturbing notes.
The weirdness continues.
I was a hiker that hiked alone, but I hiked too much, and now I'm a fed stone. That's not weird. That's not weird. Apparently we've run into the one killer for 20 miles that has a foot fetish. Oh boy.
What the?
Fed nuts.
And there's a dead duck here.
We grilling tonight.
Some of the notes appear to contain cryptic poems, others seem to talk about pretty in-depth conspiracy theories and undercover federal agents or something, and the rest appear to be biographical, with whoever wrote them telling parts of their story.
Yeah, Men in Black.
It's tough to confirm if the person who wrote the notes was the same person who killed the duck, but honestly, it would be too much of a coincidence for the dead duck to be lying right there next to the series of creepy notes, which were obviously placed there recently considering they're in good condition and not wet. After taking in the eerie scene, Phil notices a tarp and a fire next to a campsite about 20 yards away from the notes and the dead duck.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Staying as far away as possible from the campsite, he continues making his way up to a shelter. Although this next part wasn't caught on camera, Phil then reported that he saw 2 women coming down the trail with their dog, asking him if he had seen the guy who was leaving the creepy notes and dead animals on the side of the trail. When Phil mentioned he saw a campsite and a fire a few yards away from the notes, the woman got scared and asked him to walk back to their car with them. Thinking it was probably a good idea to move as far away as possible from the campsite anyway, Phil went back with them and then started hiking in the other direction to find a safer place to spend the night. Fortunately, the rest of his hike to the new shelter was a lot more uneventful for Phil, and once he got there, he was able to set up a camp for the night, light a fire, and enjoy his dinner miles away from the disturbing notes he found. A few minutes later, once it got dark, Phil decided to go into the shelter and check out the camp log and see some of the notes and stories other hikers had left behind. And that's when things get extremely creepy again.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna check out the shelter log here. I hang out by the fire. Almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail has a shelter log.
You better have a gun.
Where people write in their trail names and what's going on. They can write whatever they want in there. So it's kind of cool tradition here. So let's see what this one says. Little
Great
engine.
day to be at the
back section.
Looking forward to the vistas.
Hiking again, finally. It's nice and little trail magic. Some comics and writing and stuff. All right, let's see what's happening.
Man, I better be some pictures of some naked goats up in this. You give a shit about nobody's journal diary entries. About nobody's journal entry, nigga.
Let me adjust the camera here. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here.
And
Even though the shelter where Phil's currently staying at is more than 2 miles away and on the other side of the road from the previous one, the handwriting in the camp log is exactly the same as the handwriting that was on the notes and garbage on the other side of the road. This is pretty disturbing in itself, but it gets even more so when Phil starts to actually read some of the content in the logbook.
In 2018, while I was incarcerated at the Okaloosa County Jail.
Oh, you was in jail, nigga? That's what's up. What you do, nigga? Who you beat up?
In solitary confinement,
I
figured
knew that.
the following out.
No. Usually anything you figure out in solitary confinement is usually not good. You want to run it by a couple of smart people. We as people are tribal by nature. Instinctually, we're not supposed to be alone.
Isaiah 28:15 through 9.
Oh, of course it's
This
religious.
is the same ramblings from the guy that was on the other side of the river. That's kind of scary.
No, it's not.
Kind of weird. Those women down there said they were going to call the police on the guy. Wow, this is weird. It's just like it goes in one direction, then immediately goes in a completely different direction.
Is that it?
And there's just so much of it. Like this line up here. Think grave robbery in an attempt to obscure the reality of Little Mrs. Wolf. Content. Come up with some more of those wicked schemes, JB and company, so I can show some more of your true character.
Motherfucker,
The fact that there's a
creepy.
convicted felon walking around the woods leaving dark and weird notes all over the place is extremely concerning, and based on the kinds of stuff the guy is writing, he's probably not in his right mind. This could obviously be dangerous for Phil, especially since it's already pretty dark and he doesn't appear to have anything to defend himself with. As he gets ready to go to sleep in his tent, Phil walks back to the shelter once more, where he finds half a Gatorade bottle hanging from a string on the ceiling with a note in the same guy's handwriting that reads, "Watch out for Yeet Mouse, the dead do walk and talk." Understandably creeped out by yet another disturbing note, Phil tries to fall asleep in his tent, obviously a little on edge from everything that
I'll
happened
give you
that day.
that, man. That's scary.
The last thing you'd want to happen if you were in Phil's position would probably be to start hearing strange noises near the shelter in the middle of the night, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay, now
While he was
it's
falling
scary.
asleep, he heard something moving near the shelter, and as he poked his head out of the tent, he saw a single guy with a headlamp walking around the shelter. Not wanting to find out if it was the same guy who had been leaving notes, he quietly made his way back to the truck in the middle of the night, checking over his shoulder the entire way to make sure he wasn't being followed. Luckily, he made it back home safely, and as of 2024, he hasn't uploaded another video about the strange notes he found on the Appalachian Trail. It's pretty likely that dozens of other hikers after him came across the disturbing notes and the dead duck, but we'll probably never know who exactly the guy who wrote them was, or what he would have done if he ran into any unsuspecting campers.
I'll give you that. That is creepy.
Grizzly Gaz is a camping channel on YouTube consisting of dozens of videos featuring Gaz, the uploader, going on hiking and camping trips in the UK with his French bulldog named Fendi. In a lot of his videos, he goes camping in some pretty extreme conditions, and he often shows footage of his unexpected encounters with big animals in the middle of the woods. In April 2023, Gaz uploaded a video of a camping trip he made somewhere in the woods in the UK. The first part of the camping trip goes pretty much according to plan, with the footage showing Gaz setting up his tent and chopping wood to make a fire while his dog Fendi keeps him company as the sun begins to set. This next part wasn't shown in the footage, but as Gaz started to prepare his steak dinner over the fire, a random man in jeans and a coat approached his campsite and asked him for a beer and some food.
Fuck no.
Right, we've got steaks on go now. Bit of ribeye. Pot boiling for some mash. And I've got a visitor. Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light. Me pants. This is Martin anyway. I don't know him, but he's stopping for a steak, so...
Just some random creep wandering about.
You went round here in a poncho a couple of months ago, were you?
I don't think I was. I could have been.
Although the encounter with the man itself was pretty tame, it's still pretty creepy to be camping in the woods in the middle of nowhere and suddenly be approached by a random guy asking for things.
You gonna get robbed.
If you listen closely to what he's saying, some of the guy's sentences are a little incoherent, and he appears to ramble a bit when he talks, almost like he's kind of out of it. Later in the
Probably doing
footage,
drugs.
Gaz reveals that Martin was homeless and that as they shared their dinner, he told Gaz his story about how he had ruined his life with drugs and how
Yeah, oh my God, I'm so good at this. Somehow I knew he was on drugs.
he had ended up walking alone in the woods that day. Disturbingly, Gaz also mentioned that while they were having dinner, he turned around for a few seconds to chop some more wood to keep the fire going, and when he turned back around, Martin had left the campsite unannounced without even thanking Gaz for the food. After the strange encounter, the uploader decided to leave the campsite and head home out of fear that the man would possibly tell his friends about meeting some guy camping out in the middle of the woods with expensive filming equipment lying around and suggest robbing him or possibly worse.
Yeah, that's what they would have
To
done.
see if Martin would come back in the middle of the night with possibly ill intentions, Gaz actually left a trail camera on the tree at the campsite to capture everything that happened that night.
And they stole it.
Based on his behavior, it's pretty hard to gauge Martin's intentions and know whether he was just confused and possibly under the influence, or if he had something more sinister planned that evening. Either way, it's probably a good thing that Gaz left the campsite and didn't go back until the next morning, especially since when he did go back, his trail camera that he had left was completely gone. Creepy.
Oh no, keep going out of your way to help everyone at that. Once your anus is completely destroyed, you'll learn. I heard that's how Diddy got me. God.
Outdoors is a channel where the uploader frequently shows footage of his nighttime visits to sketchy outdoor locations during all 4 seasons. In October 2022, Creepy Outdoors uploaded a video of a camping trip he took to an unnamed forest in the middle of nowhere, recording everything he saw as he explored some of the surrounding woods in the darkness. For the first few minutes, all you can hear is the guy's breathing, and you can't help but be kind of amazed at how brave it is to visit a dark forest in the middle of nowhere all alone, not knowing if you're going to run into potentially hostile animals or something else. As the video progresses, the uploader makes a few comments and observations on his surroundings, and throughout the footage there doesn't appear to be anyone else in the forest with him. Around 13 minutes in though, an extremely disturbing sound takes the footage in a pretty dark direction.
Oh, hi.
What's up, bitch?
What?
What's really good, ho?
I need to get out of here.
And you sound white like you got bean pies, bitch?
Ooh. Okay. That was creepy.
What's really good,
I need
bitch?
to get out of here.
Shit.
In the distance, probably a couple of hundred feet away from the uploader, a voice yells, "I see you."
What's up, nigga?
It's possible that the disturbing sound was made by a coyote or a fox, but because it sounded so much like "I see you," it could have also been another camper trying to mess with the uploader and scare him. Because the YouTuber had been talking and making noise almost the whole time, he might have inadvertently alerted someone else who may have wanted to play a prank on him just for the fun of it.
You don't see me, bitch.
Still, it's hard to imagine why anyone else would be wandering in the same secluded part of the woods as the uploader. What's most disturbing is that the person or animal or whatever it was that made the noise appeared to yell out right after the guy turned off his lamp, almost as if they were waiting for that to happen to yell out something disturbing. Luckily, the uploader was able to make it back to his campsite safely and has continued uploading outdoor footage to this day.
You tripping, bro. You tripping, bro. You keep going? Come on. What, you chasing the other end of a rainbow, motherfucker? You're trying to find Lucky Charms, motherfucker. There's nothing worth finding out there if that's the shit that's what you're actually finding. Get out there and join a Zumba class, motherfucker. You need better hobbies, because this ain't it.
Sam is a YouTuber from Cleveland, Ohio, who's been uploading videos of his stealth camping trips to his channel, The Northwest Wind, since 2016. For those of you who don't know, stealth camping just means parking your camper van pretty much anywhere without paying for parking, and people do it anywhere from residential neighborhoods to the middle of nowhere. In January 2024, Sam uploaded footage of his stealth camping trip to the woods in Cleveland, leaving his camper van at a local dog park a few hundred yards away.
I'm from Cleveland.
On his way into the woods, he finds a camping tent that's been shredded to pieces, which is honestly a little creepy, but he keeps going anyway. After setting up his tent in the woods, he starts cooking dinner on a camping stove. As the sun starts to set, he sees a couple of people walking by the campsite, and this is when he mentions that he's getting a bad vibe and feels like he's possibly in danger from them. Most experienced campers would probably tell you that if your gut is telling you something's wrong, you should probably call it a day and leave, but Sam decided to stick it out for the night and kept on recording. As soon as he settles down in his tent to get some sleep, things start to get very creepy.
There's somebody, hang on. I don't know if they can see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent.
Please let somebody be walking around, Mike. Please let them. Please. Please. The only free money.
As the seconds pass by, the footsteps outside seem to get louder and louder. At one point, Sam calls out to whoever's out there, but at first he doesn't get a response.
What's up, nigga?
It's only after he calls out for about the 5th time that every camper's worst nightmare starts to become a reality for Sam.
You good,
Walking
nigga?
around outside in circles.
I hope you don't think I'm Mr. New Booty, bitch. You don't get bit of a tree branch, keep playing with me. And it's not sexual. Maybe.
Hello? Hello?
What's up, nigga?
All right, I don't like this. Hello?
Hello?
They're touching my tent.
I swear to God! I
Hello?
swear to God! Oh, it's getting good now. What's good, nigga? What's really good, bitch?
All right, I'm getting...
Nigga, get out there, bro!
Hello?
What's good?
Hello?
What's good? Is somebody there?
I don't know what this is, but we're getting out of here.
Is there anybody there?
Hello?
Is there no one there?
Walking away now. What do you want?
Yo, beat these niggas up!
What do you want?
Beat them up!
I have a knife.
Damn the knife!
Where's my knife?
I ain't got no knife! Don't tell them you got a knife! Look, never tell people you have weapons. All you do is escalate the situation ceaselessly, and now you just put yourself in a jacked up situation, because if they got something, they gonna pull it, and now if you go to pull your stuff, you just get clapped. And not even like did Meek Mill. You know, which is a bad way as well. It's a weird comparison, I understand that. But don't get clapped. Never get clapped.
With me here.
Holy crap.
Get your
away.
knife,
What do you
nigga.
want?
Get your knife down!
Hello, I can't see you. Hello?
Bro, you just gonna get,
All right, I'm getting out of here.
you just gonna get your butt crack mixed up?
One
You just gonna
thing
get
that a
ran
lot
up
of
in?
people in the comments of Sam's video have pointed out is that if you're being stalked or attacked by a stranger in the middle of the woods, it's probably not a good idea to show weakness by saying things like, "I can't see you, I'm spooked, and I don't like this." After this, the attackers apparently leave the campsite, but as soon as he steps out of the tent, Sam sees them standing.
He was yelling out self-defense stuff that a bottom would say, like in jail. Like, you don't say those phrases when you getting, you know what I mean? When somebody's trying to gaffle you. Oh, please, I've got weapons. Like, no, hey, what's good, nigga? Hey, you good? Hey, no. Come over here, you got money? Say stuff like that. Confuses them.
Standing eerily in the woods just a few feet away from him.
They collapsed my tent on me. I don't know which way they went.
You sound like a hoe. That's
I think they
why.
went this way. I see you.
Don't make hoe noises
Get
when you're
away.
alone. Oh, they still running up?
All right, I'm spooked.
Their bravery?
Just get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now.
Man.
They're just standing there.
They gonna
They're
buy
just
me a
standing
car.
there. What do you want? Leave me alone!
That's not
Completely freaking out after the disturbing encounter, he obviously decides to call it a night and head back to his van in the park. But things only continue to get worse for Sam.
All right, they're moving again. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
getting
they're
out of here.
moving
We're
on you.
going.
Oh,
I'll
it's
come
two
back
of
for
them?
this some other time.
Yo, yeah, leave that.
I'm leaving. Don't follow me.
Nigga!
I don't know where to go. I don't know which way to get out of here. I smell your cigarette. I can hear you. I hear you.
As he's making his way back to the park, he looks back at the campsite and sees the attackers stealing his things, but he decides to leave his stuff behind, terrified for his life. As he's running through the woods now, he turns back and sees his attackers chasing him.
This has got to lead back to the main trail.
Keep being
I don't
nonviolent,
know.
man. You got it.
Where they are, I think
Nonviolence works.
it's all foggy up here. I got water in my headlamp. I don't know where to go. I don't see or hear anybody anymore. I hear them coming. I can
Can't see the shadow. Here's a path.
Yeah, they're coming.
Get me there. I'm recording all of this. I'm calling up police.
Nah, fuck the police. Run up, please.
All right, I'm back on the path.
Please don't run up. I don't have weapons. I am a mild mannered reporter by day. I'm white.
Get away from me!
Is this really what people yell as they get
After
their ass
making it
whipped?
back to his van safely, he drove home and gave his viewers a recap of everything that happened. As you can imagine, a lot of people in the comments accused the uploader of staging the video, mentioning that nobody in their right mind would continue to record as they sprint through the woods in the dark.
Yes, they would. Why would you not record it?
But his reaction seems pretty genuine to me.
Very genuine.
Different people
Very
act different
genuine.
ways in situations of stress.
Nick.
As for who the two guys who stalked and attacked him were and what they wanted, that's really anyone's guess.
Everything, nigga.
If what they did to Sam was some kind of joke, that's a pretty
Stupid.
messed up joke to play
No,
on
it was a
someone.
prank.
But because the uploader confirmed that they didn't end up stealing his stuff when he went back the following morning, it's also clear that looting the campsite wasn't really their main focus. We can't really know what they would have done to him if he hadn't run from the campsite, but at any rate, it's probably a good thing he did. Love Sundays is a camping channel on YouTube run by a guy named Sean, who uploads some pretty cool footage of his solo camping trips everywhere in the UK. In February 2024, he uploaded a video where he left his van on the side of the road next to the woods, and then went to do some exploring, jumping over a fence to walk through the woods.
They was gone.
After that, Sean makes his way back to his van to make dinner, where he then heads out once again for an evening stroll through the woods.
That's like the scariest shit in the world. Can you imagine if 5 dudes broke into your house and you somehow get out the house as they're breaking in? You come home and all your shit is still there? I'm leaving the fucking country. They didn't come for the stuff. They came for you.
Woods.
Ooh.
Upon his return to the van, he goes to bed at about 9 p.m., but at 3 in the morning, things start to get a little disturbing.
All being well, I'll see you in the morning. Good night.
It does not pay to be weak, bro. It does not pay to stay weak as a dude, bro. That shit does not. that shit is no bueno, bro. You are not allowed to be a weak dude, especially where I'm from, bro. You are not allowed
As
to
soon
be
as
weak,
Sean
bro.
pulls back the curtains, the people who were walking around the van get back in their car. When he put his head out the window to see what was going on, the car drove away, leaving him alone for the rest of the night. It wasn't until the next morning that Sean realized what the visitors had done to his van.
Right, well, I think we should at least go outside and see how miserable the weather is.
What they duct
The
tape?
door's stuck.
You gotta go out the front door, right?
What the actual...
Did they nut on the outside of your van, my nigga? What happened?
See that?
They keyed it? They zip tied it?
So here's... There's obviously just people wanting to talk about and just be funny, I guess, but how dangerous is that, locking someone in their van? Let me check the back door. Well, there's nothing on this one because they wouldn't have been able to tie it to anything, would they? There's no way they could have done that door anyway.
Why someone would want to lock a stranger in their van is anyone's guess, and the only reasonable explanation I can think of is that maybe they were trying to steal the diesel from the van and
Get
put the
killed
zip
for a
ties on
prank,
the
bro.
door in
I
case
swear to
Sean
God,
realized what
man,
was happening and attempted to get out to stop them.
At least take a leg,
It could have
bro.
also been a local who didn't want anyone parking their camping
I'm
van in
taking
that
a leg,
area,
man.
but we'll likely never know.
I'm at least taking the
Luckily,
leg,
after he
man.
cut the zip ties off, he made it back home unharmed and has continued uploading videos of his camping adventures in the UK.
No. You better have a gun on you, man.
The Facts by HowToHunt.com is a channel dedicated to sharing knowledge about the outdoors and encouraging people to explore the wilderness. In January 2022, a pretty terrifying video was uploaded to the channel in which a group of teenagers can be seen reacting to some strange sounds coming from somewhere in the woods.
Somebody out there fucking?
Get Trevor. Austin,
Yeah.
get the light.
Y'all fucking? They fucking? What's all that popping? Was them gunshots? The gunshot. Hey! I give a fuck!
That was not an elk. Where's that coming from?
Yeah, bring that werewolf shit over here, nigga! Watch your shit get castrated! Nah, you ain't doing. Come on down, we got you! Come on down! Was that a gun? Never mind. Get out, get the shit. Go, 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 go. Get the shit. Let's go.
Get in my truck.
Get in the fucking. Let's go, nigga.
When you're out in the woods in the middle of the night, it can be easy to mistake certain animal noises with human screams. Foxes, coyotes, and bobcats are all known to make sounds that can sometimes be hard to tell apart from human yelling. But in this case, I don't know of any animal that can make that kind of noise, especially when you consider how loud the banging on the trees was. Elk are known to rub their antlers against trees, but it obviously doesn't sound that loud or menacing. A lot of people in the comments of the video have mentioned that the sounds aren't too different from human screams, and it could have just been a man screaming in the woods in the middle of the night. Although that's also pretty messed up in itself.
Still not better.
Even though some viewers have claimed the video is staged, the uploader's reactions seem pretty genuine in this case, and the only thing we can say for sure, hiking in Berkeley-Jackson County Park, when he came across an old campsite. But disturbingly, all around the campsite were multiple different missing person posters taped onto trees. The posters themselves were completely real, featuring real missing people across different US states. Upon his discovery, James would quickly start recording.
Okay, we're deep in the woods. Sort of, we're like on the border, because like there's a side of the woods where there's people's houses. But I came to a trail that led to a trail that led to a trail up the hill. But I saw what looked like a fire pit. And remember, we're still in the woods. We're still in the woods, right? I don't know what this is. Do you see the trees? Look at the white. Okay. I was like, okay, these are probably no trespassing signs, or maybe it's something for the wildlife or something. Look what these are. What the is going on in here?
We're in the heist.
This is Utah, Florida. They're all different. They're all different. Every single one. This
Man,
one's
these
from
females cute too.
Georgia.
Why won't y'all ever kidnap ugly bitches? Like,
We are.
niggas, can't y'all exterminate the ugly hoes? Like, stop killing the pretty women, bro. Oh yeah, kill that nigga.
Like, not just that this is
Yeah, murder that ass, fuck him.
2012, Noblesville, Indiana, right? Look at the tape. Look at the water damage. These bits have been hanging up for a while. Let me just, look at that.
Yeah, that's just weird.
And over here in the middle of the fire pit, that's a shovel.
James would ultimately report the finding to the police. Though, upon further investigation, police would write it off as someone's Halloween decorations. James, however, was not satisfied with this investigation. His discovery took place on October 3rd, and according to James, the posters themselves did not look like they were set up recently. Later that same year, James would return to the campsite, but this time be stopped by multiple no trespassing signs.
Okay, first of all, I am not violating any of these no trespassing signs. I'm simply not. I came here only to show you and get it on tape and leave. From here, we can see down there, that's the clearing. So anyway, what they've done, they printed out their own no trespassing signs, homemade. I'm assuming these are all legally binding. I have no way of knowing, so I'm not taking any chances. You can see they attached them to the trees with ordinary masking tape. These aren't even laminated. This is posted, private property, no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted. And we've got one there, one there, one there.
Because the police had already closed their investigation, this would pretty much mark the end of the whole situation.
Wow.
Back in 2013, a man named Phil Poling would upload this video to his YouTube channel. The video features Phil out late at night in his neighborhood, located in Mission, Oregon. Phil claimed to have heard strange noises echoing around outside his neighborhood only a few minutes prior, which is why he was outside in the first place. Once he reached a nearby forest that was only around 200 feet from his house, he would again hear the noises. And this is where he started recording.
January 21st, about 11 p.m. I'm a couple hundred feet from my house, and you hear it going off in the background right now. Kind of sounds weird. Kind of sounds doggish, hyena-ish. I mean, that almost sounds like laughter. It's actually gotten closer since it started. It's probably only 200 feet, 300 feet from me right now.
The recording of noises continued for a while longer, until the sounds of gunshots can be heard echoing from the forest.
I think that was a gunshot.
Let's go. Run. Yeah, run.
Multiple people in the community itself had claimed to have been hearing similar noises for the last 2 months or so leading up to the recording. But just what exactly was making the noises is still unclear. This video features the GoPro footage of 2 dirt bikers riding on a remote path in the forest. Throughout the video, the bikers can be seen going at extreme speeds, but doing this would quickly prove to become almost deadly. As the bikers continued on the path, they were unexpectedly met with a steel cable strung across 2 trees at perfect neck level for oncoming bikers. At a fast enough speed, this trap could no doubt take the lives of anyone riding through that didn't see it.
What a piece of shit.
Fortunately, however, the biker in the front did see it and was able to react quick enough to avoid it.
What a piece of shit, bro. What a literal piece of shit, dude. What a literal piece of shit. I hope this guy's penis falls off. That is so shitty, dude. Like, what the fuck? Because you don't have a bike? And then if you call him on it, he'll try to be like, oh no, man, I'm not a piece of shit. It was a joke. It was a jokey joke. Like, nigga.
The bikers would actually debate whether or not to stay and wait for the person who set up the trap to
That's why I say just beat these dudes up, bro. Dudes that do shit like that with the pranks and shit, fuck them up. Shoot them in the butt cheeks. They need to learn.
come back. But they would end up deciding against this.
Fuck that nigga up, bro.
It's still unknown who's responsible.
That's really
Mark
shit.
Andre was a man who devoted his career to exploring the vast woods of Northern California. He worked as his town's environmental service director, so it was quite literally his job to spend time in the woods. In February of 2018, he had been tasked with marking trees, and while he was doing so deep in the woods, he would come across some makeshift cabin, which, considering the extreme remoteness of the area he was in, made the discovery highly abnormal. Mark would of course get a closer look at the structure. The thing was only around 8 by 12 feet wide and 15 feet tall. There was a lock on the shack's only entrance, and from the outside there was no real evidence anyone was there. Still, disturbed by the finding, Mark would head back to get professional assistance. The next few days would consist of multiple attempts to contact the owner of the shack, but all of them ultimately failing. So, finally, upon revisiting the structure, the men would break open the lock to the front door. They would find a space that was clearly being lived in, or at the very least had been lived in recently. The shack had its own furniture, a pot-bellied stove, a small library, and even a typewriter. Jars and cans of food filled the shelves. However, in spite of all this, the search resulted in no further identification of the actual owner. Because the shack was illegally constructed, the men ultimately had no other choice but to leave an eviction notice on the front door before leaving. A few days later, the authorities returned to see out the contract, but there was nothing there. The makeshift cabin was completely gone. Whoever the owner was had deconstructed it, with literally the only thing left behind being an international squatter symbol made from charcoal. Many theorized the owner was wanted by authorities, and was therefore living completely alone in the forest, evading any contact with other people. But whether or not this is even close to true is still up for debate. To this day, the real owner of the shack is still unidentified. This video was captured on an early morning in the middle of December. It takes place in Canada, and features some disturbing noise echoing throughout the forest. It's not clear what the noise is. Many frequent hunters would report to have never heard anything even remotely similar.
What that is? I don't know. Scary shit.
Oh. Obviously a goat or a really loud squirrel, you know? Or a werewolf. Damn you, Jacob from Twilight! Damn you!
One comment suggested the noise could have been a wolf that was either trapped or left behind by its pack. It's also possible it was another animal, such as an elk or possibly a bull moose. Although none of these theories have been confirmed.
The fuck is a bull moose? Word? Bulls fucking mooses now?
YouTube user Rainey Schuler would upload this video to YouTube in 2013. The video's footage is from multiple security cameras Rainey would set up around his house, which was in an isolated area of the Rocky Mountains. The whole idea behind the cameras was to capture the footage of the different wildlife around his property, to then upload to YouTube. But on September 13, the cameras around his house would catch something completely out of the ordinary. You can see as a woman walks out from the complete darkness of the woods.
What does she look like? She cute? Show your pussy, bitch! Show your pussy, bitch! Is she cute? Put your breast onto the camera lens. Mash your titty meat into my doorbell camera. Depending on the heft of your breast, I shall release the gates to the door in the front of your...
Some believe the woman was lost, or that her car had broken down nearby. But that doesn't explain her general careless mannerism as she aimlessly walks around the property.
I'll help you with my
a while
penis.
later, the woman can be seen walking right back into the forest. After that night, the house owner would never see this woman again.
$10 to see it, $40 to ride. I take Cash App. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to comment, like, and or subscribe. It's your boy BlastphamousHD, and Twisms.